Hey folks, so next installment in pool instruction is what do I do daily in my practice routine that makes the biggest difference? So for me, it's natural point of aim, but I have some other drills that I have to do daily before I can even pick up a cue that if I don't do them, I'm gonna have serious problems. My practice session is just gonna be useless. And so I have to. I have my weight equipment in this pool room that I have right now in my barn that I can exercise daily. Now I'm going to have a specific routine that I have, but my exercise isn't to wear out my arm, and I'll tell you why here in just a minute. Okay, but I'm also going to work on my mind and make sure that when I get to the pool table, that there's nothing that's going to interfere with me playing the game. I don't care if I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go through a small routine and get my routine in before my daughter and my wife they get out of bed. That's fine. If I have a lesson, I might get up early in the morning and get it done. But I notice for me, I have a bigger tremor in the morning than I do in the afternoon. So what do I mean tremor? If you watch me shoot right now, and I get down on the ball, and I'm on this 12 ball, my right arm, and it's pretty much, there's all these muscles that are just firing all the time, and I can't control it right now. So my Q-tip, if I have a small bridge, obviously the lever is going to be shorter. I have a smaller variation, and I can hit the cue ball better. But if I have a longer bridge trying to power strokes, man, I have a serious problem trying to hit the cue ball where I want to. And sometimes it just won't work. I can't play pool at that point in time. I have to go do something else and then come back to it later. Fine. This is the other tool that I have so far, the Willem ball. And so before I play pool, it's 10 minutes on the right hand and it's 10 minutes on the left hand. And so what it's going to do for me is it reduces the tremors quite a lot. It cuts my warm-up time to maybe 5 minutes instead of 20 to 30. And that's a game changer for me. Because I've been living with it for quite a while, and I thought, well, it's just a mental game problem. And I'm serious. When I was 20, man, I just started going through every mental game process that I could go through, revamped all my game, did all these other training programs just to figure out how to be more mentally tough and not get so nervous. Because I thought it was just nerves. I'm talking about my mind saying, hey, you're just nervous. You care about this so much. Well, not for me. It's absolutely, my arm is shaking. I can't control it. Okay, so the Willem ball has helped me a ton. What also helps me is I know that the first 5 minutes or first 10 minutes of my practice session, after I use the Willem ball, I'm going to throw the balls out on the table, and I don't care what I'm doing. Now, I might choose to say, well, I've got a tremor right now. What can I do to mitigate the problems? I know that I have to shoot draw shots. It's not going to work. My hand's going to clench too tight. There's a lot of things that are going to go wrong with my arm. I have to change my tactics. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to get up there. I'm going to throw out the balls. I'm just going to hit it. And I'm going to work on a shorter bridge. I'm going to work on just being super compact and just getting through the ball, letting the cue ball roll. I don't care if I make the ball. I don't care if I miss the ball. I don't care where the cue ball is going. It doesn't matter. Okay? I'm working on hitting the cue ball at different spots. That's it. And once my arm starts to calm down, then I can do my practice. And the practice starts with this calibration. Natural point of aim. I've got my cue stick down. So if I get my rifle out, it's over here, and I decide to shoot long range, and I go out and I say, I'm going to check my zero and I'm going to check my point of aim. Well, I'm going to get in the prone position and I'm going to get behind my rifle. I make sure my shooting bag's back here, my rear bag, and I'm getting everything is right. I close my eyes when I get to the scope. I make sure that my cheek well is right, and I open my eyes and I find out, where am I looking down my scope? If everything is right up here, and I look down the scope and I'm off to the left, then I know, oh, wait a minute here. Something is wrong with my body today. I have to move my legs and I have to calibrate my natural point of aim for that day. Okay, so I'm practicing. Oh, I get back down on the shot. I look at the rear bag's right, grip's right, everything's right. I look down the scope again, open my eyes, bam, I'm back on. As long as I'm within that 8-inch plate at 100 yards, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. If I'm not on an 8-inch plate, I'm going to move with my natural point of aim until it feels pretty good. It's the same thing with shooting a handgun. I'm going to make sure that everything's good with my procedure so that absolutely I'm right on that target. Okay, now, what am I also going to do? I'm going to translate this to pool. Absolutely, this straight in shot to me is just non-negotiable. I have to be able to hit the cue ball to the 12 ball and get zero side spin, left or right, and I want zero side or top and bottom. I want to be able to get a sliding cue ball to hit the 12 ball, and there's all transfers, all energy from the cue ball to the 12 ball, and so therefore it stops dead. Okay, and lots of times I'll use a striped ball or measles ball to try to see it. Okay, now what do? I'm back behind the ball. And if you notice the way I shoot sometimes I'm going to have a pool stance, okay, where I'm away on the side. Fine, fantastic. I also work on my snooker stance because I work with different coaches and I want to make sure that I'm getting the best of both worlds. I want to know how to teach people better. So when I get down on this 12 ball, I'm not looking at the 12 ball any longer. I'm looking at the cue ball, and really all I want to be able to do is come back and forward. Now, what did I notice? After I hear contact, I want to see the cue ball. Where did it go? Well, I'm not trusting my eyes to find out where that cue ball is going because I want to trust my body a little bit more. I'm looking at the 12 ball and saying the cue ball went to the right just a little bit. It also went up just a little bit. There's other reasons that could be. So I'm looking at left and right. I get back down on the 12 ball. I'm no longer looking at it. I notice there's a little bit of right spin. So I'm going to have to adjust on that. What's going on? Am I hitting the cue ball just a little bit with the right spin? I mean, it was minute, but I saw it. And I'm going to work this shot until I feel like my natural point of aim is perfect, okay, for the allotted time. So when I say perfect, I'm saying if I work on it for 5 minutes, I'm going to put all my energy, I'm going to put a timer on, I'm going to take my watch off, disregard time anymore. And for that allotted time, I'm going to work on just natural point of aim. After that 5 minutes is done, I can go do another drill. Now, I like to put 10 balls down the center line here. And I like to put the cue ball. I take the cue ball, and every single shot, it's straight shot, 1 diamond away. That's getting a bigger angle over here. So you're getting larger distances. And then I also like to go back 2 diamonds away, and then 3 diamonds away. And if I have enough time every day to get to 3 diamonds away, because that's quite a lot of practice. Okay, so if you're shooting this 10 shots, you're doing a pre-shot routine and you decide, well, it's 10 seconds for your pre-shot routine, probably 15. And you're making sure that you're behind the ball each time. Let's just say it takes 30 seconds per shot. Okay, that ends up being a little bit of time. Okay, and then you go back over here and over here, it's quite a lot of time. So you need to choose for your practice how much time you're going to devote to natural point of aim. What does it do? If you have an angled shot and you've already worked on your calibration for that day, a natural point of aim, and you are really hitting that cue ball very well, where it's dead stopping every single time, then when you change angles, you don't have any doubt that you have absolutely hit the cue ball where you want to go. So now you know that you weren't looking at the 1 ball correctly. And I'm talking about here's the shot line. I'm talking about from the 1 to the pocket. I know where that contact point is. This is the contact point line, right? All the way to the pocket. And you've chosen the right place to hit the ball in the pocket. Now I'm back behind the cue ball. Now I'm looking at, well, where's my line of aim? And so now you're no longer working on, can I hit the cue ball where I want to? Because you've already taken care of that in your practice. Now you're looking at, where's the line? So it frees you up to work on different parts of your game. Now, some people have different methods to do it. If we want to shoot the cue ball up and down the rail and do it quite a lot, fantastic. If you want to hit a double kiss shot to find out where you have to hit the cue ball, fantastic. I like to do it this way. So I'm talking about this was my 20s. I'm not going to give you other drills from other coaches that they use in their teaching, right? So for me, this is very freeing. Now I'm devoting all my energy right now to where is the line of aim to hit that one ball in. I get down on the ball, now I can hit it in. Okay, so that's the rest of my practice. At the very end of my practice, I like to pull it all together with a really nice drill to just get cue ball control, to regain feel. This is not just playing 9 ball, it's not just playing straight pull. I like to put one drill that's all encompassing for that day and see how good I'm hitting the ball. That's the next segment. Okay, I've gotten through most of my drills today. I've got a couple more drills that I'd like to do, but this is to end my practice session. And this is brainwash. You might have seen this before where you throw out the balls and you can't get a rail. You've got a random order, and that's a fantastic drill too. I might do that in another video, but I'm going to shoot this version, which is on the grid. So this starts on the second diamond, one away, and it goes on the intersections of the diamonds. Point is recovery shots. The point is confined areas of keeping your cue ball under control. So it's a very good drill to keep your cue ball under control. What I'm trying to do is play this 8 ball, and I could choose whichever pocket I want to play the 8 ball in, or the 2 ball. For the sake of the video, let's put the 8 ball. And what I'd like to get done is I'd play the 8 ball in order to get the cue ball somewhere around here to get a straight in shot of the 12 ball. I'm playing a pattern to try to get back to the center. The 1 ball is the problem. Right now it has no pocket that it can go in. So this is the one thing that solves the puzzle, is the 1 ball. And how I'm going to solve it is the 8. I'm going to attempt to get on the 12, go to the 10, to the 4, to the 2, and try to get back on the 1. So I'm going in a circle, the easiest route to get on this 2 ball. Okay, so I pulled it back just nicely. I'm pretty much straight in. If I cheat the pocket just ever so slightly, then I can get on the 12 ball, the 10 ball. Now the point of the 10 ball, if I hit the cue ball into the 12 ball and stop it, I'm on this side of the shot line. I'm on the wrong side completely. Then I have to play a drag shot, which means I need to get a specific amount of roll. I got to time the cloth. So I got to know that very well to where the drag, the draw, stops and it starts to forward roll just slightly to get to this position. So optimally, I would like to be straight in. I don't want to be on this side of the shot line too much. So I really want to keep that cue ball just in this hand right there, under the hand. Okay, so it rolled forward just slightly, not much at all. It rolled forward about a half a ball because it was on the intersection and I can see the intersection right on the edge. Okay, so I've got a margin for error because of the pocket, 4 3/8 inch pockets. So what I'm going to do right now is attempt to get very straight in on the 4 ball. If I have a little bit of angle, if I'm on this side of the shot line, the cue ball is going away from the intended target. The intended target is to hit the 4 ball and get on the 2 ball. So I let it roll forward just a little bit so I can make sure I can get the cue ball going towards the cue ball. So once again, I've got a decent angle. I'd like to keep the cue ball under the hand. So 4-ball, nice and easy. Pretty low on the cue ball to keep the cue ball under control. Okay, so I'm dead straight on the 2-ball. It's absolutely perfect. I take the cue ball, I try to replace the 2-ball. If I get it anywhere under the hand, now I'm going to have choice when I play the 1 for the 14, the 9, and if I get slightly out of position, maybe I'll have to take another one of these other balls. So I'm playing a stun follow. Okay, and I punched it a little bit so I could get just a little bit of forward roll. A very controllable shot. I have a choice. If I replace the 1 ball, now I have choice with the 14, the 9, or the 11, or the 5. If I keep the cue ball where it is and let it slide, it's going to go towards the 5 just slightly. If I get a little bit of forward roll, I'm going to get on the 14 as well. Okay? So I'm going to cheat the pocket a little bit and try to replace the cue ball. Okay, I'm a quarter of a ball off from dead center. It's absolutely perfect. The next shot, I'm straight in on the 9. I'm straight in the 14, almost. It's a little bit of an angle on the 14. If I play the 14, the cue ball's already going in the direction for the 3-ball. I've got the 3-ball that I can play, and if I play the 3-ball with follow and try to get the cue ball to the center of the table, I can take care of the 9. If I choose not to do that, I could play the 3-ball and perhaps play the 5-ball and go through the center of the table over here and leave the 9-ball last. I'd like to take the 9-ball out. I'd like to end one side of the table and go to the other side of the table, if possible. So back to my pre-shot routine. I've already aimed. Everything's good to go. I let the cue ball drift a little bit so I can get on the 3-ball. I've got a nice angle. It's not going to be great for the camera, but I've got a nice angle to try to get the cue ball back to the center of the table. If it doesn't get to the center, I've got many choices. Okay, held it under the hand once again. I can play the 9-ball. If I play the 9-ball, I'm going to have a very long shot to continue the run. So you have to play the percentages. How am I feeling today? Well, for me, I haven't played a whole lot this morning, so I want to make sure that I'm continuing the run. I'm going to play the 5-ball. If I play the 5-ball and I stick the cue ball, a dead stop shot, the angle on the 15 means I need to cheat the pocket, maybe spin the ball a little bit to continue to the 6-ball, because the next ball from the 5-ball is the 15, 6, then 13. Then I can get back to try to get to the 11-ball, okay? So I'm going to play just a little bit of draw and let this cue ball slide just a little bit to the right. Okay, now I'm straight in on the 15. I can just either try to get on the right side of the 15, the shot line, to get on the 6 and continue to the 13. I cheated the pocket, let it go in off the rail just a bit so I can have a nice angle. I am almost straight in on the 6-ball. Once again, if I can keep the cue ball just on this side of the 13-ball, that shot line, then I'm going to have a nice shot for the 11 ball. Okay, I don't quite like the position I'm in, but I can recover from it. So now I need to take the 13, get the cue ball to slide back a little bit. If I get on the 11, great. If I have to get to the center of the table to get on the 9, that's fine too. And if I get to the 7, that's the best option. If I get to the 7, I can get back to the center of the table, play the 9 and the 11. But the main thing is I've got to get into the 180-degree line, straight in on the 11 and the 9. Okay, so I got almost dead straight on the 11 ball. If I play the cue ball, dead ball, all I'm going to get is the cue ball to go to this side, which gets me on the 7 ball, which is fantastic. Okay, I've got the 7 ball, and that gets me on the 9 ball. Once again, I'm dead straight on the 9 ball. I'm saying I'm straight enough that it's inside the pocket. So I'll complete the drill, but really, and I'll explain it a little bit, what I want to do is hit this cue ball, hit the 9 ball in, make sure that I don't have the cue ball where it's where the 9 ball is or in these intersections, because I want to put the balls back up there and continue the run. So it's a nice drill to continue and just to see how much you're going to run for that day. Now, it's really important to me that I'm playing well, because at the end of my practice, I also like to practice mental game. So this drill is also, I'm going to work on my timing, meaning my pace of play. So sometimes I'm going to play slower to simulate, hey, I need to think more. And then at other times when I'm feeling pretty good, I'm going to speed up the amount of pace that I walk around the table. And I'm going to work on just upping the pace to maybe 15 seconds per shot, or maybe even faster than that. Okay, I'll put a metronome on and give myself 15 seconds per. So I'm under the gun just a little bit. I love the drill just to continue to keep the cue ball under control. So I'll shoot the last shot, be done. Okay, and I'm also, once again, I'm at a good position. Right now, I've got a good angle to play this ball here, the 4-1 intersection. It's cleared this ball. I can play this ball down here to get back on the center of the table for a good run. I'd like to be back just a little bit more, but this is great, okay? Now, this brings up a fantastic point that I just had. Okay, my shot that I just played, I was to the center of the table. And so I always struggle with, what's the relevance? What's our stance look like? How do we have to play our shots? Well, when it's in nice distance from the table and I can get in my great stance that I practice daily, man, I'm pretty good. I have to practice these shots just like this, because just a moment ago, I had to get way to the side to get my eyes to be dead on the ball, get my hips out of the way of the table so I could get a good shot. Now, you could choose that you wanted to play this with the bridge. Well, most pool players are just going to reach for this shot because it's not that long of a shot. Okay? Once it starts getting up into this region where you're having to elongate your bridge and to move your backhand, it's probably wise to get the bridge out. But at this point, I had to do a lot with my stance and the way I moved my body to make sure that my eyes and my upper arm, my chest, everything else was the same. Okay? And so I wanted to make sure I got that point out there to you, just to reiterate, we have to practice different stances. We have to practice different especially shooting over balls, these different scenarios where it's not going to be perfect. And that was one of those times it wasn't perfect. Okay, so this was a decent run. I'm saying just 15 balls. You can throw the balls back out there. I believe the cue ball was here. Throw the balls back out there and continue the run. The other day when I ended my practice session, I think I was at 115 and said, okay, I'm gonna stop and I'm just gonna go do my next thing. Okay, so it's a fantastic drill to end.